Well, good morning everyone. Let me explain to you why my jet boat's in a state of disassembly. See all the dust all over it? So let's tell you what happened to this boat. You remember in my last video I was up the Ahara River, that's down on the west coast of the South Island there with my cousin Gary Pullen, and he and I were having a wonderful time up there, but only one stone done the trick, and I hit one just in under here. Can you see the discoloration there? It wasn't a big hit, but just there, and you can't keep riding the boat with that hole. So when you do fiberglass, you've got to get to both sides. So that means you need to pull everything out to get down to there to be able to repair both sides, and put a gel coat back on there and a gel coat on the other side. Now you'd be wondering why I done this, and there's a simple answer, is that I let my insurance run out. It ran out in August and I had the bingle in October. I said too, slowly pulling the parts off. It's all just about unclicking it, and on the back of the pad there, there's these slots here that correspond and finally screw through this one here. So they slot into these ones here like so. A couple across the front and 3 on the other side there, and then it slowly all gets tied in with screws, etc. The big problem was I had to get this big tub had to come out of the boat. He definitely had to come out so I could get to the bottom there and allow the fiberglass man to get to both sides of the hull. So when the hulls had time to dry, these are the bits that go back in, down here like so, on either side, and they can't move anywhere, but they are the main support for the bottom of the tub. So we'll just let that dry over the next hour, and then we'll go and have a cup of tea, and we'll come back and we'll put it all together. What I've also done is buy a ratchet gun that'll speed up the process. I dismantled it using a ratchet and screwdriver. So my return process of putting it back together should be a lot faster, and I'll be on the water by this afternoon. There was no damage done at all to the engine or the engine mount. Sometimes with a sudden impact, the engine mounts come off the bottom there, and that's a more serious situation, even riding the jet skis off. But this was just a puncture wound in the hull there, and you can't leave that like that. So I found all the screws and I know exactly where everything goes, I hope. So the first part of the reassembly is to put that polystyrene back down in there. It was a bit tight, but I couldn't get this last piece out down here unless I cut it, so probably not right off. Anyway, I'll just wedge it back down in there. So that looks alright. Those couple of big ear vents, they came right down in the bottom there. So I think we're ready to put the big tub back in. Let's see what happens. Release the petrol cap there and get it on this side of the box. The parts here, I've laid them out in this tub here, put a bit of CRC around them, and I've got myself a new impact driver there. That should speed the process up. certainly sped it up. I'll put them into there where I know they are. The cap has to come off to get through that hole, and then this base sits down on top of that. Now it's just work my way back here and put the petrol cap filler back in its proper position. Last one to hold the bucket in. Not too much. Just checking, I got 1, 2, 3 across there, 1, 2, 1, and then 4 at the back, and that's as sturdy as it was. So these are the catches for the bonnet, 3 bolts down into these retaining screws like so. So progress is going good. I've got that anchored in well, fuel caps in, and now these retaining brackets here to catch up with the bonnet here when she locks down. They're intact. I had quite a battle getting this piece here off, but I didn't realise that's just a trip mechanism there to release it, and it slides forward, so putting in will be dead easy. So I just need to line up this one with the cleat in underneath, which is about there somewhere, and then just bunt it forward like. Yeah, so this is a bit of tougher plastic than the other stuff, and it fits over this tie-up cleat there. Just lines up there. That'll be an attachment point for the back of this one here. So it's easy when you know how, but that had me snookered in under there. There's just a little releasing clip to get that one out. So now I attach all those screws in under here and finish that fella up onto there like so. This next one should be fairly easy. Just these retaining clips here, and that one slots into here as it goes up. Let's see if I can get that right. That like that. Ooh. Look at that. Must be in the right place because that hurt. Looks like there's 2 anchor points here, one here and a grummety sort of thing there. I know where that is, but it's coming together nicely. This piece of ingenuity is quite clever. So you insert it through the hole and then tap it home. Through the hole like that, and then tap it home. And that locks that up. That's clever, isn't it? Let's see if I can duplicate that on the other side. So this is a strut that goes on to hold that lid from travelling up and down too fast, and these are sacrificial clips that go. Ratchet tie on that bottom end there, and it should be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws to go. Good, we're getting there. Before I go too much further, because I can't get in here again and I see the rust and the salt is getting to these stainless things, I'll just give them a puff of this. A couple in here and a couple in under there, a bit around that wiring there, and I can see that everything's intact here. I'll just lubricate up around these things so they slide on easy. And that's my screw hole there and there that I need to anchor that front down with. Can you see anything else that I need to do before we put that front on? I get to these screws from the upside when I flip that bonnet up to anchor back in there and lock that front piece from coming off. No, she's nearly ready to go, isn't that good? So let's see if we can get the nose to sit back on how it should. There, she's starting to look like a jet ski now, isn't it? So I've got to anchor that down and then two inside there to tighten it up. Downpipe on there, a bit of Marley downpipe there. It has got my code for the radio. It holds the rope, and I can put my handheld radio there if I'm fishing and I can hear the radio. So that assembly time took me close on an hour and a half, I suppose, but I wanted to go slow just to make sure I got it all right. Well, it's a good time just to check what I've have in the tub in the front there. Generally I carry this anchor here with a length here, and I carry it in there because it won't bash around and tangle up. This fire extinguisher can go back in. I carry this all here. I don't use it very much now because I can control the boat very well. This is my weed rake. If I ever get anything stuck in the impeller, you can sort of get it out. This is my Buoyancy weight belt when I hop over the side. I have a couple of gloves there just to for cold days. If you're wet and you've got a long ride home, they're good for that. In this container I have my strobe light and a multi-tool there that rides in there. These flares here, they're not far out of date, 2017, but anyway, we might as well be in here because until I get some new ones, they can ride back in there. I keep a little sharp knife there, and I keep a buff as well there just to wear when I get cold. So basically that's the equipment I have in there, and the rake fits up in here, so I feed it through that loop there, and he sits up there like so. So that sits there and you've always got it, because you don't want to be without a rake when you get weed in your thing. A multi-tool, my strobe light and multi-tool rides in there. And he in turn hops behind this rubber mount here to fill that spot. I've got a place for my flares down this side here. And now I know they're way out of date, I'll get new ones of those. My anchor in the bottom. And the lead weight sort of holds all that down and in place, it doesn't buck and kick in there. I keep my gloves in the caboose there. And the oar sits down to one side as well. It goes there nice and tidy, doesn't impede anything. And my buff, it goes here along with my knife. Generally I carry extra water. I've got some water up in there, but have the discipline of taking water with me all the time, and I have a pocket there especially for that. I can't think of much else that I need to put back in there, except I put my diving gear and my camera gear in there, and there's plenty of room for that, but I don't need that today. I'm just going for a short ride. See how it all packs down there, quite tidy. And this is the top part here, and I've still got room there for food and fluid in that pouch there. Now on these jet skis also, you've got this pouch here, and your iPhone can go on there, your keys can go there, and that's a watertight compartment there where you can put your iPhone, and I've got a charging port there to keep things ticking over. That seals it against rubber. If she does go arse up, you can at least have a chance of keeping your phone back again. And I just check everything there's right. Tyres are good on the trailer, and so I think she's ready for another adventure. Let's go and give her a run and see what happens. Oh, well, here's another one you got to do, is put the bungs in, because I had that water in there to clean that fiberglass out. And down here, look at that, you must put the bungs in. I have one on either side, because there's nothing worse than having a boat full of water. I keep my wet gear in this box here. I have two sets in here, one for me and one for anyone else that's coming with me. Some old boots, but I like to wear my new ones. That's all the kit I need for today. Just a pair of boots in case I've got to get off on the stones, my buoyancy vest, my e-perp, and my light thing, because the temperature's now up to 20 degrees. And of course I log a trip with the Coast Guard when I get to the boat ramp. So for my photography and that, I wear this wind visor on the front of that helmet, and that's great. The wind doesn't get in your eyes, and I can see over the top down to my camera whether it's on or off. And I've also got the Ulanzi's adapter on this GoPro 7 here, and that allows me to have the microphone in underneath to under there to talk to it, and it's out of the wind in under there, and that gives me a good outcome. So I just checked the engine running before I got going, but that's all that gets wedged up in the impellers when you go in the rivers. Anyway, I got it out, and she's running good now. I've got a new sleeve here to put in, but I'll just let that one go for a little bit longer yet. This impeller's got a few nicks on it, but when you look at it, it's pretty straight still, and I'll just sharpen up those face edges there, and that running with this one here is a real tight fit, so that can go back together, but not yet. He's discharging bulk cargo there. I can't see what it is, but it goes into that hopper over the back there. And from that hopper it then is offloaded onto trucks to take it elsewhere. Oh, here's the Spirit of New Zealand. This is like a youth training ship where the kids from all around New Zealand can come and spend some time on this boat here. They learn about the old sails and how that all works together. Learn about shipboard life, keeping it clean and tidy. My daughter was on that when she was about 15 or 16, around that time. This cabin's in underneath there, down the bottom. I think there's 10 or 20 kids get on it at any one time. The big crane there is something brand new to ISO, the company that loads these logs. They leave her out of Germany, that one there, but they've got about 4 or 5 of them, and that's really speeding up the work here to get the logs from the shore to the onto the boats. Looks like they're going to pick that digger up and put it up on there to level the loads. Up she goes. So they use that there to what they call fiddle, I think, and fiddle all around those logs, grab them and shift them to where they want them. Get them in as many as they can on the boat at any one time. These ones at this end, you see there's a digger up on there at the moment, and he packs them tight. And they work their way right up to the top of those brown stanchions there. And the plimsoll line is the brown line there, where when she's fully loaded. Tauranga is a lucky port because it's got deep water and they can load a boat from the bottom to the top, but sometimes they go to the lesser ports like New Plymouth and Napier and get the bottom load there and then come here and top off before they go back overseas. I see a boat left there, but I don't think there's any action. They just lifted her out, do a bit of job, and then put her back in tomorrow. Anyway, that's the end of this little video. The boat's going good. I'm happy with how that is. We'll call that a success. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.